Okay, time now is 11:51 a.m. in the morning on April 13th. Um, yeah, fuck, I'm really tired. I went to bed ultra late again. I think at 6 a.m. And then I woke up, um, I woke up from a dream at 10:30, and then I went back to sleep, and then I woke up at 11:20, and then I went back to sleep again for like 10 more minutes. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I thought I would have more time to sleep today, but that's not true. 5 hours is not enough. Hopefully, I get to sleep more tomorrow. I think tomorrow's, I get to sleep more. But yeah, last night, what the fuck did I do? Why was I up so late? I didn't even watch a film, aside from the film I watched at the Egyptian Theater, and I also watched the first 32 minutes of it on my laptop because I missed the first 32 minutes. Um, yeah, and I thought to myself, you know what, I was gonna watch that David Cronenberg film, Existence, but you know what, at this point, I'm just not gonna watch it because I've been trying to see it every single day for a few days, and every single day I can't watch it. It's so cool. Why is there a helicopter circling around us? I don't know, but yeah. So anyways, today I'm going to watch a film again. I'm at 1:30. I'm going to leave this place and I'm going to go to Arrow Theater to watch Koyani's Katsi. Kind of regretted buying the ticket because no one's going with me. I thought Luis would be there, but who cares? It's cool to see this on a big screen anyways. Um, so yeah, there's that. So I need to have breakfast and lunch before I leave. Um, And the big thing I finished yesterday is I bought the plane ticket. So yeah, I bought the plane ticket and it's kind of reassuring that I already got it. It's 1,000 and something dollars, 1,030 something, which I think is reasonable for. It's pretty expensive, but I also think it's reasonable given how late I bought the fucking ticket. Um, but yeah, I finally got it. The the flight is May 11th at night to May 12th at night for Swiss Air. Layover at Zurich, and then return flight is May 27th with United Airlines. So I almost went with Swiss Air for return flight, and that would be 9 a.m. flight and arrive at LA at around 4 p.m. But 9 a.m. is a bit too early, so I went with a 10 a.m. return flight. But that's United Airline, and that's a layover at Washington, D.C. And it's slightly cheaper, so I went with that one. But buying that plane ticket on the United Airline website is a bit tricky because there's the whole Swiss airline thing. And then I also later found out that when I arrive at Zurich, I'm not transferring to another Swiss Air. I'm actually transferring to Baltic Air or Air Baltic, which operates under Swiss Air but is not Swiss Air. So, well, hopefully things go well. But yeah, I got the plane ticket, so yeah. Now all I need to do is figure out the accommodation. But yeah, that's reassuring, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I don't have much else to do today. Maybe I'll go to Ralph's and buy a little bit of food because I'm running out again for some fucking reason. So tired. So tired. I guess we're freezing tonight. Okay, that's great. So, yeah, time now is 8:21 p.m. I just came back home about half an hour ago, but I decided to just pace around my room because I have nothing better to do. Um, yeah, let's talk about today quickly. Nothing too crazy happened today, but something really fascinating happened today. Anyways, so I woke up and I didn't have a lot of time. I, had my breakfast, which is 4 biscuits, and then I had ramen noodles immediately after the biscuits, and then I basically left. And for about 1.5 hours, I went over to Aero Theater at Santa Monica. Yeah, so I took bus 38, went the other direction, and then hopped onto a metro, and then for 20 minutes, I walked from the metro station to Aero Theater. It's so fucking stupid. I either arrive at downtown Santa Monica station and then wait 20 more minutes for bus 18 so that I would arrive at Aero Theater 40 minutes late, or I walk for half an hour. Like on Google Map, it estimated that I walk for half an hour, but I'm a fast walker, so 20 minutes is enough. But still, it's so stupid. So anyways, I walked, and I was like 9 minutes late to the screening. Only 9. It's so crazy. We drove yesterday, and we were 45 minutes late. I walked today, and I was only 9 minutes late. I went to the Aero Theater, I got the physical ticket, and I was right on time. I was right freaking on time. The movie started the moment I entered the theater, and it was all dark, and I'm like, okay, fuck, I don't know where to sit now. And then I remember, oh yeah, usually in Aero Theater, the far parts, the top farther parts are like the best parts. So I went over there and I saw some empty seats, and I took a look, and I'm like, there's an Asian guy with long-ish hair and glasses. That's fucking Ken. And then I'm like, great, they're here. Like, I immediately recognized him, and I immediately just sat down. And I think part of them also recognized me. So yeah, them. So next to Ken is this guy with big fluffy hair, and I'm like, oh, it's Ken's friend Mahi. And then I also proceeded to see Cliff and Justin, the Singaporean guy, also here. Holy shit, they're all here. And I just sat behind them the whole time. And yeah, and part of it's also good that I'm behind them because I wouldn't want to be in front of them, because then they would be staring at my back. But yeah, I watched the film, and there were a couple moments where I almost fell asleep, but overall it's pretty great film. I just wish I didn't fall asleep in those bits. I mean, I almost did. It was a little better than last night, than yesterday. So yeah, after the film, I walked out, and I'm like, Cliff, Yif. And he's like, oh yeah, you're here. So they saw me, and Cliff thought it's not me. Cliff thought it's someone who looks like me, but it's not me. But usually if you look at someone and they seem like that someone, then they probably are that someone. You're just second guessing yourself. Like Jiayun. Like with Jiayun. Yeah, so that's that. It's still awkward because after Malaysian Justin's farewell party, there's pretty much like, I'm not really in a good relationship with Ken. So it's awkward. I didn't look at Ken too much. I didn't talk to him too much. It's kind of ironic too. Ken is like culturally and ethnically the closest to me. And I can't even fucking talk to him. But yeah, it was chill. Like, I was comfortable. And Singaporean Justin left. And then me and Cliff and Mahi and Ken, we walked over to Mahi's car where he drove us to Cliff's place. And then I went to Cliff's place and chilled for about half an hour, and we just chatted, we just talked. It's nice because I haven't really talked to Cliff for real in a really long time. I mean, I did run into him last weekend. But yeah. Okay, today is last weekend, right? Yeah. Holy shit, it's only been a week? That's fucking crazy. My coloring with Luis has only been a week. That's crazy. So much happened this week. Okay. Anyways, we sat down, we talked. I talked about my short films, talked about Kuchio and how much of an idiot he is, etc., etc. And then I casually mentioned that I'm going to Cannes Film Festival. I mentioned it in the car when Ken and Mahi were there, but they didn't say anything. Ken was probably thinking, oh, Enoch's such a show-off. But hey, I'm doing better than Ken, so... but yeah, I talked to Cliff about Cannes Film Festival, and Cliff was really nice. Once again, Cliff was like, hey, next short film and you need a crew, hire me. I am dying to work with you again. He literally said that. We talked about food. We talked about cooking food. Like, he showed me the food he cooked, and I showed him the food I cooked. Like, photos. It's so crazy, because sometimes I and Cliff, we don't talk to each other for 3 months. We come back together, and we're just chilling, So that's great. But yeah, yeah, that's great. So I walked to the metro station, and the metro was delayed, and it took me a while to get back home. The train was packed. For people, they're like, oh my god, the train is packed. It's like a zombie apocalypse. But for me, I'm like, I'm okay with this. I'm from Hong Kong, bro. I didn't even need to hold the guardrails or anything. I didn't even need to hold the pillars. But yeah, I arrived, and I took a free lift to Ralph's to buy some food. And a very interesting thing happened. I was walking, and I saw this woman, tall woman, blonde, dresses pretty nice. And I'm like, haha, that's like Cheyenne. But probably not Cheyenne. And then I was at the beef section, because I wanted to buy carne asada beef. This is the third time I've been to Ralph's in a row where I'm looking for carne asada beef, and it finally showed up. And I looked up, and it's Cheyenne's presumably boyfriend, wearing glasses and waving at me. And it's Cheyenne, but Cheyenne didn't wave at me. Cheyenne's just kind of awkward, and she's not wearing makeup. It's fucking crazy. I think it's either light makeup or no makeup, but Cheyenne's like really shy, and he's like looking away, and she has no makeup on, and she looks okay, but she's like smiling, and she's awkward, and it's like, whoa, what? And I was like, oh hey, and then I continued shopping, right? And then a little bit later, I wanted to get pasta, and they were also at the pasta aisle, and I got pasta, and I walked the other way because I didn't want to run into them again. And then yeah, and I took a lift back home. That's it. But wow, that's so interesting. I've never seen, over the course of like 2 days ago and then today, I think I learned so much more about Cheyenne. By the way, she hasn't followed me back on Instagram. That crazy woman. But she's actually a softie? I can't believe it. I thought she's like psychotic or something. Maybe she still is a psychotic. But it's so interesting to see that. Another thing is, like, I thought Cheyenne's like ultra rich because she always dresses in like really fancy like suits and whatnot. But no, she's just shopping at Ralph's, which is for the commoners like me, If she's rich, she would just go out and eat instead every single day, order Uber Eats, but not me. Normal people like me, we go to Ralph's. And it's so crazy that they're shopping at Ralph's. Also, that guy's her boyfriend. So I'm not surprised that she's not dating, tall fuckboys or whatever. But I would at least believe that if Cheyenne would date someone, it would be someone who's like emo and weird. But also like nice and a softie, but like emo and weird. But no, it's just a regular guy with glasses. Which I think is actually makes the most sense, actually. Makes a lot of sense. Usually artsy people always end up being with someone who is just like a regular person, So, kind of makes sense, maybe? But anyways, that's interesting. So I'm back at home, and that's it. That's all for today. I'm having dinner now. I'm hungry. And that's it. Yeah. The plane ticket I bought last night, it was really expensive. $1,000 something is really expensive. But it I think it's okay. But then another thought came up, and that is, even though the plane ticket, if I leave on the 27th, the plane ticket is cheaper, but then there's accommodation. If I stay longer in France, it means I need to pay for more nights in France. So it's like I'm actually spending more money still. Saved some on the plane ticket, but I ended up paying more for accommodation. In the Con WhatsApp group, Garrett posted saying, hey, anyone who wants to extend the 24th night to 25th, please like this message. Or if you want to keep it as is, please like this message. And everyone ignored him. Instead, people were saying, oh, I already got a ticket to leave on the 24th. And Tiger was like, me too. And Sear was like, me too. And Camden was like, me too. So everyone's decided to skip the closing ceremony. But I don't want to. So I told everyone, like, oh, I'm leaving the 27th, actually. And I liked his message. But yeah, I don't think it's happening. People are just like... I think it's very much like a elders thing. Like, Matt's undergrad, but he's old, okay? He's like a few months older than me, so he's old. And Tiger and Emma, like, they are all more like... You know, Matt's... I wouldn't call Matt old. Matt has been to con. And then we have the grad students, and they're all like, yeah, we're just gonna arrive on 13th, leave on 24th. Matt didn't even say that. I'm not even sure if Matt has bought a ticket already. But yeah. So I guess I'll be finding a location regardless. Yeah, that's it. Looking forward to next week. It's crazy, we're already at the end of the semester, but like a lot happened though. If you really think about it, this is the most fruitful semester out of the 3 semesters of USC. I've made some good friends, and had some interesting developments. Yeah. And I don't feel the need to infiltrate APCA anymore because I feel like I already know people like Ethan, Kwan, and Katie, and Mitchell, and I feel like if I know these people, I'm already kind of in, I'm already related in some way. I also don't care about HKSA anymore because they're so insufferable. But I feel like I've already gained, like, a bit of a friend group here and there that, I think it's gonna work out. And then right now it's mid-April, crazy, and then mid-May I'm leaving, so literally one more month till this semester ends, and yeah, so much can happen in 1 month. February felt really long. So did March, actually. I think a lot happened. Like Remain in Light, the shooting of Remain in Light felt ages ago. Yeah. It's gonna be nice. I feel like I've had mostly good days. Like, good days more than bad days so far. Which is rare. Usually my life sucks. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna buy some ND filters, and I'm gonna buy a Blu-ray tonight. That's it. Okay, time now is 12:31 afternoon on April 14th. Yeah. I slept from 5:30 a.m. to 12:10-ish. Nearly 7 hours, and that's great. I feel alive. That's crazy. I think, like, if I do sleep for 7 hours or more, it's always a blessing. So anyways, last night was productive. I feel like I finished a lot of things. So I finished 2 films yesterday. I finished Shan is Missing, even though I was falling asleep, but I finally finished it, even though it's a very short film. and I spend quite a bit of time updating my spendings, my expenditure Google spreadsheet, um, and yeah, I spent over $3,300 last month, which is $1,000 more than I'd expected. But then, I mean, yeah, I paid money for Wang. I paid for the mic. I also just bought a lot of Blu-rays. Um, so yeah, 3,300. Fuck. Um, hopefully I'm a little bit more, you know, saving this month. But I also bought the ND filter and another Blu-ray last night, so that's another 100 and something dollars gone. Um, yeah. Oh yeah, and the accommodation, the villa, the 540. Yeah. Anyways, um, yeah, today's chill. It's funny because today I'm directing a short film, but I'm confident about it. The only two things that are sort of scary about it is the casting and the production design, but according to Cole, the PD is already done. Like, he's got everything already. And then we already got the three actors, and we're gonna meet up at 4:30 p.m. at the SCA courtyard. We'll practice, and then we'll walk over to the USC hotel together. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna head to school a little early though, because I need to pick up the gimbal from Ethan Kwan at 3:15, and then at 3:30 I want to go to the In the Mood for Love talk thing, which seems really interesting, and I want to meet the professor because I know I'll never have the time to take his class, but he's from Hong Kong, so I gotta meet and greet, you know. Um, and then yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it. I also got an 8 out of 8 for my latest RIT 340 essay, which is fucking insane. I thought I'm gonna get a B because he's a very strict grader, but no, he told me that it's a beautiful essay, but there are grammar issues, but it's a beautiful paper, and gave me an 8 out of 8, which is crazy. So I guess I just gotta keep it up, you know. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I'm yeah, yeah, I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling okay. Um, I don't know if I'll film a video later or not, but yeah, things are going a little well actually. What the fuck? Um, yeah, and then after this film, after Summer's End Pickup, and then after my Paradise film, then I only have one more film left in this semester, and that's Maisie's short. And then after that, I'm done. I'm done. So, yeah, that's that. What else? Yeah, that's it. I'm a little worried about the accommodation in Cannes, though. The first night at Nice, and then the following nights. Um, but you gotta do what you gotta do, you know. Hopefully, it's not that expensive. Hopefully, it's not that expensive. And you know, solo traveling in France is crazy, but like 2 years ago, Zara went to New Orleans all by herself as a girl. You know, like, I feel like, me solo traveling in France is okay. Also 2 years ago, I went to Japan by myself, even though accommodation is with family. If I could do that, France is a bigger challenge because I'm also living by myself, and France is less comprehensible than Japan for me. Like, Japan is more similar to, I guess, what I'm familiar with in Hong Kong. France is a little bit tougher, but I think I'll do okay. I think I'll be okay. Nice is very tourist friendly. Um, yeah, that's it.
Features brutally animated footage gonna be being shared on social media like Xiaohongshu or Denmark.
In this company, script writers frequently get together to share ideas.
It's the AC actually coming on.
The AC is supposed to be on right now. It's just really slow. But when we roll, we probably have to turn the AC off because of sound.
I know this is a lot.
Yeah, and then we can move everything into the bathroom. Wait, the plate is clean, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because it'll be a safety hazard. Because he actually has to eat. Don't pour all, just pour some.
And it's like a nice hotel, so it's like they're gonna give you shitty portions.
Ooh. Okay, yeah. Ooh, very fun.
2A, take 4.
And action.
Get the door. You get it. What? You get it. You're closer.
And action. Action.
Get the door. You get it. What? You get it. You're closer.
Okay, roll 1, scene 3E, take. Oh, well, it's take 2.
Yeah, it's fine. Who cares?
Are your camera set?
And action.
What are you doing? Put that jacket back on.
Christ, Jimmy. It's 92 degrees in here. I'm sweating my ass off.
I don't care. Just put that jacket back on.
Wait.
It'll be.
Sorry. I think.
Okay, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. Yeah. I'll get this one. Bruh. Okay, I'll just get this. Okay, time now is 2:18 a.m. in the morning. Yes, it's late, and yes, I'm tired, and yes, I've been procrastinating for the last 2 hours doing nothing because I'm just so tired. Ironic because this morning I was actually bright as day and I was really energetic. I woke up after having nearly 7 hours of sleep, and that's already good enough for me. And I was pretty wide awake this morning. I went back to bed for a re-sleep, but I didn't really fall back asleep, you know? Usually I do that. But yeah, I woke up and I was feeling chill, and I didn't do much after I woke up. Conveniently, the Johnny Toe Blu-ray running out of time, it got delivered the moment I woke up. So after waking up, before I even had breakfast, I immediately changed my clothes and went downstairs and got the Blu-ray. That was pretty neat. And I also got 8 out of 8 for my RIT 340 essay, as I've mentioned, so that was cool. I I I really didn't do anything this morning. I was gonna do a bunch of stuff like homework, but I ended up not doing anything. And then at around 3 p.m. I left. I um went to first of all I went to Gateway to meet up with Ethan, and he showed up pretty fast and gave me the gimbal. And then I walked over to Doheny Library. So at 3:30 p.m. there's this talk given by this professor who's from Hong Kong, and the talk is about In the Mood for Love. Which is so weird. It's not a lecture. I mean, it is kind of a lecture, but it's just a talk, and anyone can just walk in and join. So out of curiosity, I just walked in. I was like 3-4 minutes late, but it's okay. And for the next 45 minutes ish, or even less, 40 minutes, it's just a professor talking about the origins of Wong Kar Wai, and then the making of In the Mood for Love, and like some of its details, like the music and the cinematography, just all in 40 minutes. And it's really interesting. I've never seen this professor, and I really wanted to know this professor because he's a Hong Konger. He's way younger than I'd expected. He looks like he's in his 30s or something. And he's bad at lecturing. Like, of course he's not like fluent in English because it's not his native language. Neither it is for me, but I'm just better, you know. But he also doesn't really make it interesting, and I think a lot of students are there just to have an extra credit for a class. I was just there out of pure curiosity, really. I have balls of steel. I'm insane. Usually if I go to these weird talk events, it's very awkward. But I wasn't awkward at all today. I'm just like, if I show up, they're just going to think I'm just a random student. So I just showed up. And I wasn't taking notes. I saw some people around me taking notes, but I'm just not taking notes. I'm here just out of curiosity. Also, I'm like, not to brag, but I'm also a Hong Konger, and I know a thing or two about Wong Kar Wai, okay? But yeah. So I wanted to stay behind and like maybe talk to the professor, because I don't know what are the other chances I could do that. But I turn on my phone, I turn on mobile data, because I never really do that. I turn on mobile data, and I found out that a whole hour ago. So I turned on mobile data and checked my text mobile at around 4:05 p.m. And then I realized that a whole hour ago, at around 3 p.m., Andrew Wu asked me if I have Ethan's little light. So Ethan Kwan's little LED light. And I'm like, yes, but I don't have it with me. But I can just immediately go home right now and get it. So that's what I did. So I immediately left, and I wish I stayed behind, but I couldn't. So RIP. I hope I run into this professor again, though. That would be really nice. I hope he gives another one of these talks within this semester. But yeah, so I went back home. So that's also crazy because I had to meet my actors at 4:30 p.m. to rehearse for the hotel shoot. But if I go home and come back, it's going to take around 40 minutes. I don't live that close by. I do live near, though, but it's still not that near, throw back to May last year during lock when I had a stomachache and I just went back home and went to the bathroom and come back. That is possible because I had about 2 hours or 2.5 hours to spare. But the fastest I could immediately go home and come back is like 40 minutes. Not 40, 30 minutes. Yeah, 30? No, it's still somehow took me 40 minutes. So at around 4:10 p.m. I left. I immediately took the bus. The bus basically almost immediately arrived. I returned home, and by then it was like 4:35 p.m. yeah, it still took a while. And then 4:35 p.m. I came up to my room. Not my room. I came to the living room, grabbed a little light, and immediately left. It took 2 minutes, and then I just walked. I walked to school, and that took about 20 minutes. That took about 15 to 20 minutes. So yeah. So I eventually arrived at SCA Courtyard at around 4:55, which is kind of late. I'm supposed to meet them at 4:30, but it could be worse. So I met them all. I say hi to them. It's Jade, it's Andrew Wu, it's Ryan, it's Cole, and then it's the three actors, including Clara, whom I've met before very briefly for Smooth Operator, and then the other two actors, a black guy by the name of Douglas, and another white guy by the name of Eli. I like how diverse this is. It's three characters, but it's literally black, white, Asian. Just really diverse cast here. So we found a quiet spot. We went to a little intersection in the back alleyway, in the back walkways of SCA. Basically the spot where Vivian's character got ignored in Remain in Light. And I created an invisible rectangle for the three actors to rehearse. So I practiced the blocking with the three actors. I practiced twice. And during that practice, there were tours literally going back and forth. It's so crazy. But we managed to do it. And then, oh my god, I'm feeling cold now. So we managed to do it. And then we're like, yeah, let's go. So our shoot is supposed to start at 5:30 and end at 9:30. And 9:30 is a hard out, hard leave. So we need to start wrapping at 9. So at 5:20 we just started moving. We walked. So Jade left, Andrew left and went to his place to grab equipment. Jade drove away to buy burgers and a drink. And we walked. So we walked over to USC Hotel, sort of just talked to people, chilled. And it's interesting because I think it's I direct a lot, but I seldom direct with a crew. That's interesting. Yeah. I guess information blackout doesn't count because I wasn't fully conscious back then. But Objects in Mirror is like the first time I really worked with a crew as a director. And then this is like the second time, kinda, but this is a way smaller crew. But it's still a crew nonetheless, and I have to take a kind of a leader role, but at the same time, I cannot act like a leader. I need to be the man of the people. So I had to like talk to people and be nice to everyone and greet everyone, and then I also have to kind of take the lead. At the same time, you kind of have to be in that position, So anyways, we walked over to USC Hotel. We were about 2 minutes late. It's okay, who cares? It's 5:32 p.m. I got the hotel card. I went into the room and we started setting up. And holy balls, setting up took forever. It took like 45 minutes. I don't know why did it take so long. I think the camera setup was easy. Tripod setup was easy. But the sound, that was fucked. First of all, we don't even have sound until Jade comes. Because Jade has the sound equipment. And then the microphone acts weird. When we first plugged in, the camera was recording sound, but it's from the camera. And then I was like, where's the XLR cable? We connected it, and now it's not recording anything. And then we unplugged it, and now it's working, but it's very quiet. So that was real troublesome. And then we did the blocking. The professor came in, and then we did the whole blocking. We even joked. I was like, yeah, the professor's going to come in, and he's going to be like, so what's the story? But yeah, we did the whole blocking, and everything kind of worked out. And I didn't really give the actors too much direction. I don't know, you'd think that this is one of the few times, or I think this is the first time where I had to direct someone else's script, and probably the only time. I don't think this will ever happen again. You'd think it's a huge difference, but not really. I just skip a huge part. I think when I direct my own storytelling, when I direct my own script, I'm very strong. I'm very stubborn with my vision. Like, I'm very, very particular about how a frame looks, how characters act. And yeah, I'm particular, but I'm not strict, but I'm particular. But when I'm directing somebody else's script, if the actors' performances are off, it's like, well, it's just an interpretation of another person's story, so I don't care as much, honestly. So I didn't give a lot of directions in terms of performances or even lighting. I just make sure the blocking is right. I make sure everyone's happy. I'm almost doing the role of the first AD. Even though Jade is also doing kind of AD as well, but I almost did the role of a first AD because I'm just telling people, okay, how long will sound be done? How long will camera be done? And okay, actors, are you good with the scene? Okay, next scene we're doing this. Like, I'm just keeping everyone on edge and on time. But I think I did a good job. I think I was very stable because I've directed quite a bit. I've directed enough to develop this sense of, yeah, let's move on, let's boom 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 boom. So I was like just cruising along. But yeah, the first few shots take forever. The first few shots took forever. One shot took like 15 to 20 minutes, which is crazy considering that we had 13 shots. 13 shots in 4 hours is really tough. But other groups are going insane, apparently. So we did it, boom, 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 boom. There weren't a lot of hiccups. Everyone was pretty chill. Everyone was working fine. There were a couple of moments where it's a little frustrating because we keep not getting the take right, but I think no one was complaining. I think everyone just got along. And yeah, we wrapped Clara as bellhop. Thank God we asked Clara to be the bellhop and not Cole, because Cole had to hold the boom mic the whole time. And Ryan didn't just stand around. Even though Ryan didn't really have a role, he still had a bunch of random things to do, like helping out with the PD or helping out with the lighting. So yeah. So all of us had a lot to do, really. But I was really chill. For the most part, I was wearing my diagonal bag, or like in the beginning, and then I put it down and I'm just like putting my hands in my pocket, one hand with a script, the other hand with a phone, and I'm just like looking and I'm just like chilling. It's very easy, actually. Being director, I'm really comfortable directing. Like, directing is legit my most comfortable role. Like, I would even go so far as to say I'm more comfortable as director than as PD. Even though I enjoy being PD, but I think being a director, you just look around and tell people to do things. I'm really comfortable at that. And also like visualizing things. I feel like I wasn't that picky. I think in the first half of today's shoot, I was more picky. Like, ooh, that action is not good. Let's do one more take, just one more. And then there are shots where I had to go I think 4 takes is the maximum number of takes I've done for a shot. Or 5. But we moved on very fast in the second half because we realized we're running out of time. And Jade started going, okay, we only have like an hour left. And now I'm less picky, and it's other people who are picky. It's Andrew going, oh, I think that one's out of focus. Oh, I think this was in the way. At some point, we filmed a wide shot, and a whole bounce board is in the back. And we filmed 3 takes of it, and no one noticed. Yeah, and there's a lot of coverage too. We bought 2 burgers for one of the actors to eat ravenously, but we ended up only using 1 burger because we're so saving. And then there were a bunch of small details that we just completely forgot, like the fedora hat, and also my little light. It was never used, or Ethan's little light. It was never used. I could have stayed behind at the In the Mood for Love talk and talked to the professor instead of this. I actually never really needed to go home and grab the light and come back. It was completely unnecessary. Wow, holy moly, right? But it's okay. I'm gonna meet that professor sometime soon. It will happen, trust me. But yeah, we wrapped pretty much right on time. So my plan was that we would start wrapping at 9:15. but CC was like, oh no, you need to start rapping at 9. So we actually filmed until 9:10 ish. But when CC came in, we pretended that we're rapping. No, but I trust CC and I told CC, oh, just one more shot. And then when the professor came in, we pretended that we're rapping. We're like, oh yeah, we're rapping. And then I closed the door and we're like, go, 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 go. And it was on the last shot too. And like either the actor messes up their lines or something, like the camera. And it's such a small space too, so we keep ducking the camera and people have to hide inside the bathroom, or inside. Ryan had to hide inside a closet, and somebody had to hide under, or like beside the bed, and then like crouching. Like somebody had to hide constantly. I never got to set up the gimbal, so I didn't even need to pick up the gimbal today. So yeah, that's it. And then we wrapped, and then we just went out, and I was like, wow, I bet the other groups are still filming. So we wrapped up everything pretty fast, and then as it turns out, Cheyenne's group is gone. What the fuck? So I was just really shocked. I thought they were never gonna finish it. But no, it's gone. They're gone. And I was really shocked. And then Ben's group, so Ben, Portia, Vic, Sella, and Audrey's group, they were so noisy, by the way. They had a bunch of actresses standing in the hallway, and they keep talking, they keep ruining our takes. And Jade had to go outside and tell them to shut up twice. But yeah, they wrapped a little bit later than we did. But they still wrapped, and I asked them how many shots did they do, and Sella was like, 35. And I'm like, what? 35? I later asked Rachel, and Rachel was like, oh, we did like 16 to 20 shots. That's still crazy though. 4 hours, 35, assuming that it takes time to set up and, wrap. That's like 6 minutes, 5 minutes per shot. That's insane. But like, quality over quantity, I'm happy we got 13 shots. But 13 pretty interesting, pretty well done shots. Yeah. And I think it's a 4-page script. You don't need 35 shots for a 4-page script. You don't if you do 35 shots for a 4-page script, I don't think you know how to direct. There are ways to use wide shots and long takes effectively. And then use close-ups when they're needed. Use fast editing when it's needed. Know your tools. Don't just stick to small knife. Big knives exist too. Yeah. But yeah, we wrapped, and Jade was so good that she even bought us pizza and drinks. And we didn't have time to eat them. So we just at the lobby of the USC hotel, we just ate a few slices. I ate 3 slices of pizza, and then Jade left, and then there's no one to take the pizza and the drinks. So I took a whole jug of lemon soda back home. So I have a lot of soft drinks now. Yeah. And then that's it. And then we just wrapped, and then I just walked with Cole, and then I called free lift, and now I'm at home. That was chill set. That was chill. That was okay. Not a lot of complaints. And it's probably not going to be good. But I don't really care, honestly. I just like that this is my first time in USC directing with a crew. And I think it worked quite well. I think when your crew is chill. And also, it's also on me. I'm the head, and if the head is toxic, then the rest is toxic, So I'm level-headed. Yeah. So I think we did a good job. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm really tired, and it's really cool that last night I finished a lot of tasks. So right now I don't actually have a lot of tasks. I just need to watch some TV episodes and do some religion homework, and then I'll be good. And then yeah, tomorrow, I like that I'm pretty much at the final week of the ALI program, and I don't have to worry about it. After a couple more meetings, I'm done. I like that because I've been too busy. I also like that I don't have a lot of sets anymore. So I'm like a little freer now. Ironically, as I'm getting closer to the end of the semester, I'm like a little freer. My ALI program is to its end, and I'm also not doing too much YouTube. And even because for RIT 340 and for CPR 290, all the heavy assignments are not at the end. P2 is the heaviest assignment for 290, and I've done that. And RIT 340, the first two essays are the heaviest. So the back end of this semester, like April, is actually shaping up to be the freest month of the semester, which is crazy. Usually it's the busiest. So it's actually good. So I don't have to wake up that early tomorrow either. So yeah. And that's it. No news on Jiayun. Apparently she wrote and edited an experimental dance film for Haut magazine, and everyone's praising her. How talented is she, you know? I don't know. I'd like to run into her tomorrow. So please do that. When I walked through the SCA building, I was low-key hoping that she would be there. But I don't know. She's just gone again lately. Yeah, that's it. Okay, time now is 11:04 a.m. in the morning on April 15th. Yeah, I slept from 5:25 to 11:30. Yeah, could be better. I actually went to bed at like 5 or something, but I stayed on my bed to like use my phone. Yeah, I'm really tired and it's so cold right now. What the fuck? I had a dream where, yeah, something really weird happened. Something very angry and violating happened. Ugh. Today should be chill though. We have religion class, and then we got Zoom meeting for con again. At 5 p.m. there's a Zoom meeting, and then that's it. Damn, I love that the airline meetings are almost over. So I don't have much to worry about, honestly. Just gotta continue watching a lot of movies, and oh, I want to sleep so bad. Oh my god. Before 5, okay? Tonight, 4:30 a.m. That's my goal. 4:30 for tonight. Yeah. Nothing else, really. Nothing else. Okay, it's 8:32 p.m. Not a lot happened today, which is great. I don't know why, but suddenly I've entered a chiller era. But surely this weekend is going to be a bit tough for me. But, yeah, we have entered a more chilled era. I woke up, and I don't know why. I slept for, I think, 6 hours, which is not the end of the world, but I felt so tired this morning. Extremely tired. I missed the first bus to class, so I went for the second bus. Oh, because I had a stomachache in the morning, so I went to the bathroom. And then I took another bus, the second bus to school, the 12:20 bus. So I arrived on campus kind of late, and then I was eventually about 7 minutes late to my religion class, but it's okay. I didn't miss much. And then during class, I started falling asleep, especially near the end. But after class, I stayed behind and talked to the professor and asked her more questions about Buddhism, which is what I'm interested about anyways. And then I went back home, but before going back home, I thought it would be nice if I go to the Amazon pickup point to pick up my ND filters. It finally got delivered, I believe, last night. And I went there, and boom, it's there. It's not stolen. It didn't disappear. The package did not vanish. It's all good. God damn, why is it so cold right now? So yeah, I have the ND filters now. So that's good. And I won't be buying too much shit for the rest of the month. I'm so done. But I have to continue with the Blu-rays. That's important. Yeah. And then I took a bus back home, and then I just chilled, and I did nothing. I had lunch, and then at 4:30 p.m. there is a Zoom meeting. There was a Zoom meeting, between it's Cannes Film Festival, the Cannes Team Cannes, and it's just me, Colin, Garrett, Matt, Mustafa was there, Emma was there, Zachary was there, and then Sandrine, as well as this person. Her name is Lisa Fox, and apparently she's been doing reality TV for a long time now, and we're supposed to ask her questions about how to promote Khan, like our team, and how to like do marketing on social media. The thing is, she's a reality TV person. She's not a social media manager. There are so many moments in today's meeting. It went on for like a whole hour, by the way. I was halfway through my salad, and then like I had to leave my salad out on my table for a whole hour. Like there are so many moments where Colin or Sandrine would ask questions about TikTok or Instagram and how short the short form content should be, and she just doesn't know how to answer. She's like, well, I gotta ask my daughter. And then she asks her daughter, how short should it be? And are the contents usually consistent? And the daughter doesn't know how to answer. Because you can't answer a question like that. If you ask me, I don't have TikTok, but I've seen so much Instagram and YouTube shorts that if you ask me how short should they be and what kind of content should it be, I would just say, well, it depends. It depends on what kind of thing you're trying to do. And so it wasn't that helpful. I spoke up a few times, but everyone else was just kind of quiet. Colin and Garrett did the most talking. I think no one else is truly that interested in this aspect, but I am interested. Let me do some YouTube stuff. I'm good at it. We already missed the whole con lineup reaction thing. To be fair, it wouldn't be that exciting of a video anyways, but at least we would have gotten some views. Yeah. I'm still fucking coughing. I've been coughing for like 3 weeks, man. Don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah, it's good though. I'm productive. I feel I've done nothing today, but I feel like I've done a lot already, and I just want to sleep earlier tonight. Just let me do that. I'm gonna go make some dinner now. Rice, chashu, cabbage, mushroom, garlic fried. I have some seaweed, and then it'll be cool. And tonight I'll finish red velvet cake. Yeah, that's it. 5 minutes. Wow. I usually speak for way longer than that. What else do I want to mention? Jayun. I don't know. I talk about her often. I think every once in a while I just pick one woman, pick one girl in my life, and just yap about her, and think about her a lot. But I honestly don't think I have any strong feelings towards her, mainly because I don't know her that well. Like, the conversations we've had, one at the party, the phone call after the 310 screening, and then a few times over Instagram over Christmas, and then the few times I run into her at the SCA lobby. And then that's it. And we've texted each other just a tiny bit. The thing is, I don't really know her that much. I feel like the con team, we've had, 3 meetings? And I know some of the people there even more so, like their personality and what they like. Because I've never really, like, been in a situation with Jiayun. Like, any situation. Bad situation, a good situation. We never crossed the road together. For example, we never ate food together. I've never seen her eat food, actually. Yeah, I've never seen her eat food. I've never been in a class with her. I've never been stuck on an not stuck, just taken an elevator together. Like, I've never been in anything with her. Like, seeing each other at the SCA lobby is like the most default thing you can do. It's like the equivalent of talking to an NPC in some default lobby, like a main place. It's nothing. So I feel like I don't know. I hope I get on to set with her this Friday, but no news from her yet. Hopefully I run into her tomorrow and then I can ask her about it. That's it. Kind of excited for Paradise, or whatever the title's gonna be, for this Saturday as well. I went up to the religion professor and I was like, so I'm working on script right now, and she's like, oh, I'm so excited. But like, I don't want to write script anymore. I just want to improvise the whole thing, really. I kind of don't want to. Yeah. Nothing else. I don't know if I mentioned this, but yesterday Matt randomly DM'd me asking me if I'm seeing Eros, which is a documentary by Haruo Kazuo, and I was like, no. But I feel like lately Matt has been taking me a little bit more seriously. And Cheyenne also follows me on Instagram. I think Matt, Cheyenne, yeah, they're like the top dogs of cams, anyways. And then Jiayun is also somewhere, top dog somewhere, you know. A lot of top dogs, you know. Lots of top dogs in SCA. Yeah, and I feel like I'm slowly getting up there. I have 1 year left. I have 1 month and 1 school year left in USC, and that's a lot of time. I'm already, honestly, you know, to put myself in a greater scheme of things. A few years ago, I was like, okay, I'm lower class right now. I don't have any friends. I'm just a beggar. I need to get to middle class. And I feel like I kind of reached that during ends and means. And of course, when I went to USC, it's back to square one. But right now, I feel like a middle upper class. Like, if there's a ladder, I'm like center above. Because I'm so active in literally anything and everything. Joining sets, con team, cams, fest, spotlight, airlie. I've been doing so much that I'm kind of like center above. And I think, and that's only 1.5 years. And I know Jiayun, like literally 1 semester and she's already a top dog. She's just a relentless force of monstrosity. But I feel like I've really picked up my pace and I really climbed somewhere. And when I was in secondary school, I always imagined this kind of future. A future where I have a lot of friends, I go to school and I would run into people and they would treat me seriously and with respect. And they would text me because they need my help. And I wouldn't mind Instagram followers because it's become a trivial matter now, you know? And I feel like I kind of reached that, which is really crazy. Seeing myself grow this strong, it's really scary. And I still have 1 month and a whole school year left. I have so much time to grow even stronger and be even more powerful. And yeah, that's not guaranteed. And yeah, this ladder is endless. But honestly, if I have to graduate next month, okay, I would be pissed if I had to graduate next month because I still haven't dated, right? But if I had, and I have the position that I am in now, going to Cannes, whatnot, I still wouldn't be satisfied though, would I? Because I haven't directed a huge short film. Before I graduate, okay, romance and dating is like out of my control, but I would at least want to have strong influence over a club, and I would love to direct something using everyone I know. I think that's like the dream. And also have an actual fun trip. I mean, cons happening, sure, but you know, spring break, me and a team of friends, you know, and people willingly celebrate my birthday. Though to be fair, that kind of happened with my Rachel and Ashley, the roommates. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff though. I'm feeling okay. Time now is 10:32 a.m. in the morning on April 16th. Yeah, slept from like around 5:15 to 10:20. And now it's 10, I went back to bed for 10 more minutes. Oh, so tired. Fuck. I can't go on like this. I can't go on like this. It's so cold. I'm feeling really cold as well. Like, I'm gonna turn on the heater later. Yeah, fuck. But yeah, last night was really productive. I don't think I've been this productive since 4 months. I don't know why. I guess I just don't have a lot to do yesterday. But I managed to finish 1 film and 1.5 TV episodes. Even though when I was watching the Darjeeling Limited, I was very much falling asleep again and again. I also edited a college update video. Yeah, it was quite nice, actually. It was quite nice. I finished some homework as well. However, today, this morning, I just don't have that much time. I have my CCCS 192 discussion, which is at 12, so I'm leaving, and I don't want to walk to school again, and I don't want to leave at 11:50. So yeah. Actually, maybe I should leave at 11:50. Anyways, I'll have a simple breakfast and no French toast, even though I have to finish that. And then I will be having lunch, either by myself or with Rachel. We'll be talking. And then at 2:15, it's a 340 conference. And then and then I'll come back home, chill, and then I'll go back and for CTP at 290, where I have nothing to prepare. I don't need to do anything. Just show up and chill. And then come back home, and that's it. Yeah. Oh, and then maybe at night after that, after CCP 290, I'll buy something in Trader Joe's because I'm running out of food again. Or at least, I really want to go to H Mart. I want kimchi and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Not much else, really. I spoke with Arwen a little bit yesterday. So Arwen, this Chinese girl who, from the overnight shoot with Jamie yesterday, last year, not yesterday, what the fuck. And I also ran into her briefly in the Camps Fest. She made an Instagram story asking everyone, so who's going to Cannes Film Festival? And I'm like, well, me. So I DM'd her and we talked a little bit. So it turns out she was a producer for an indie short film that was so good that got into the short film corner. But she has a market pass. She doesn't have the cinephile pass or the press pass. Yeah. So, but she'll be there throughout most of the festival, so we talked, and it was nice. So that's crazy that so many people I know are showing up at con this year. You know, Matt, Colin, Tiger, Franklin, Arwen, um, and this other girl, this Anna person. Apparently, she just turned 22, according to her Instagram story. I thought she's like a master's degree student. I mean, she probably is, but holy shit, I'm even older than her, and I'm still undergrad. Yeah, I hope I run into Giant today. Please make it happen. Pretty please. Yeah, that's it. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Holy fuck, okay. 跟住就係我 show 完我嗰條 Okay, time now is 9:08 p.m. I just came back home. I'm actually like starving, but I'm gonna quickly film this and then I'll go down and make dinner. Semi-interesting day, I guess. I woke up and again I don't have enough sleep. I'm tired as fuck. When is the next time I get to sleep? I genuinely don't know. When is the next time I get to have a good night's sleep? Maybe tomorrow. Maybe not. Probably not. I woke up and I didn't have time to film an album review. I immediately left, took a bus around to CTCS 192. I was late for a few minutes. Who cares? Sat down, didn't say a thing until the end. So we had to form groups and we need to talk about racial capitalism and racism and capitalism. And me and Cole and Linda, the Chinese girl, and another white girl, we formed a group and we just bullshitted stuff out. And it turns out we need to speak up. Like each group needs to like speak up and talk about what they have found. And then at the end, I have to do it because no one else knows what to say. So I have to do it, and I just like made up some stuff. I talked about Minari and how an Asian American family is a subject under capitalism, and it kind of made sense. So that's that. And then class is over. Rachel's here. So I followed Rachel to the SCA lobby, and every time I walk past the SCA lobby, I take a look. I take a look at the seats. And she's not there again. Where did Jiren go? Jiren just kind of disappeared off the map, kind of. Very mysterious. So instead I just sat down with Rachel and just talked to her instead. I went over to Coffee Bean, got myself a caramel macchiato and a pesto turkey sandwich, $12.9. More expensive than I thought. Don't know why. We sat down and then we just chatted. And then that's when Rachel told me that apparently we need to file taxes yesterday. And I completely was not aware about that. No one told me that. I didn't receive any email about that. Maybe I did. I just ignored it. I saw memes about filing taxes. I didn't know yesterday was the deadline. I had no idea. The thing is, I don't actually have to file taxes, but then it's like you kind of have to at the same time. I don't really know how it works. It's very confusing. But either way, I'm past deadline. But thankfully, just because I'm past deadline doesn't mean I'll immediately get caught by the IRS or the ICE. Yeah, I'll have to do those taxes like tonight. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't think I have to pay anything because the money I'm receiving is already cut down by taxes. I just need to report them, but I don't really know how it works. I'll find out later. But we just talked and talked and talked about 290, etc. She laughed at me. She's like, "Wow," because I'm doing very well academically, as in like my films and everything. But like outside of school, like filing taxes, life stuff, I'm like I kind of suck at, and she's laughing at me. Wow, you're like me, but just in a different way. Or like she didn't say you're like me. She just says 半斤八兩, which is like I suck at some stuff, you suck at some stuff. But honestly though, that's true. A few days ago, I was like all uppy-duppy, because I'm successful. I made a very good film, people liked it, and I got into con, etc. But like film is like the only thing I'm good at. If you put me in a math test, if you put me in an exercise like an athletic thing, I'm just gonna suck, I'm only focusing on the thing I'm good at, and that's it. Anyways, yeah, and then we were talking about connections, and I mentioned Jingchen, and then not too long after, Jingchen shows up. Also, our 290 professor also showed up. But anyways, Jingchen showed up with some other guy, and Jingchen was like, "Hey, how are you?" And he's like nice about it. He went up to me and he's like, "Yeah, how are you doing?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'm fine." So apparently he's here to do location scouting because around next month he needs to find a place at USC that looks like a church. And I'm like, "Have you checked the chapel?" And he's like, "Yeah, that doesn't work." And I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, "Yeah, we'll see you." And then we talked for a bit. And Rachel's like, "Wow." And then a little bit later, Rocky walked behind us and I said hi. It's good to, even though I and Rocky are not close at all. I and Rocky are not close at all. It's always good to have someone this big and powerful constantly remind them that you exist. I think it's a good idea. And then at some point I talked to Rachel about like cool people like Maisie, and then I even showed Rachel Maisie's Instagram, and I was like, she acts like a cat. And then a little bit later, me and Rachel went up to SCA third floor so that Rachel could continue editing her project too, and she's super worried that she's not gonna finish it in time. As we walk over there, we walk past Maisie, and I was gonna say hi, but Maisie's locked in listening to music. So I was like, oh, I should have stayed behind and said something to her. But yeah, we went up to the third floor, and then I realized, holy shit, I have to go to my RIT 340 meeting now. So I went to RIT 340 instead. I went to the Jefferson building, went into the professor's office. I was like a minute late, who cares? Sat down and just talked about the essay, the next essay, our third essay of the class, which is due next Monday. Figuring things out, hammering down the idea. I didn't come prepared at all. I haven't thought about my essay truly. And for a moment it was kind of awkward because I haven't figured it out, and there are a lot of dead airs where I just sit down and think. But it's much more engaging, and then we eventually figured out what to write for the paper, for me. So I got it, and then I asked about feedback from the last essay, and then he's like, "Well, you have it already." And I'm like, oh, that paragraph? And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." "And how about the score?" And he's like, "You saw it." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." It's a little awkward. I have to remind him to tell me that I got an A. And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I remember it though." So, yeah. I don't know, maybe in his perspective, I'm just confused because my first essay did so poorly, suddenly I got an A, and I'm just really confused. But yeah, so there's that. But it was interesting because I want to write, like for my next essay for RIT 340, I want to write about contradiction and being understood and not being understood at the same time. And the professor's like, "You know what, I really relate to that, as in, not even as an artist, but sometimes I do things and it mystifies me. I really like suits. I even wear suits outside of work. I just really like suits, and I don't really know why." So yeah. I returned to SA third floor to say goodbye to Rachel because I have a lot of time, and then I left. Went back home, chilled, didn't do much, filmed an album review, and then left. Walked to school, 6 p.m. Oh, my back hurts. What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, walked to school and went through the SC lobby again. Still no Jayun. What the fuck? Do I have to be the one who... Like, if Jayun doesn't... If I don't run into her by tomorrow, should I just text her tonight? I don't know. Maybe I should. But anyways, yeah. So, either way, I know the summer's end pickup day is Friday, so I already know. It's just that I need to talk to Jayun, like confirm with Jayun, and I need to remind her that I exist. Instead, I ran into Emma from Con Team, which is so helpful because I was gonna ask her about accommodation. So I went up to her and I just talked to her a little bit about the accommodation because we're both leaving Nice on the 27th. And she's like, oh yeah, well last year I also stayed around for a Europe trip. And this year me and my friend were thinking of getting Airbnb and I'll let you know. And I'm like, yeah, let me know. And then I went to the SCX and then I ran into Asir, another Con Team member. And he's like, oh, you're going up? And I'm like, yes. Went upstairs, chilled, sat down, and did nothing, returned the sound kit, left, went to the classroom, and then we proceeded to screen 5 more films, I believe, 5 more shorts. So Cheyenne's Project 2, very intriguing. So a couple weeks ago, I took a sneak peek at Cheyenne's script for Project 2. It's called Fade In, Fade Out, and it's about 2 women talking, very chill talk, and then it slowly fades into the next shot, which is a flashback of the 2 women on the bed, laughing and, implying that they had a relationship before. So Cheyenne didn't do that at all. This script is completely different. It's called The Decay of Image, or like something like that. And it's this really interesting, very beautifully shot. A photographer takes photos of a model, but it was sunset, and it was against the sun, and it was like lots of natural camera movements. It's like a Terrence Malick film. And then it cuts to like within the camera, so mixed media, and then it cuts to Adobe Lightroom sort of fixing, or Photoshop sort of fixing the photo of the model. And then it is it's like a bunch of text saying, okay, her photo isn't used anymore, but a few years later a Redditor found the photo again, and blah 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 blah. And I just thought it's really interesting and formally accomplished. The text is really interesting. I'm waiting for something really edgy and dark to happen, or like something really like, ooh, a twist, but that never happened. But maybe that's the intent, and I can't quite tell. But this feels more like I don't know what I'm doing than I know what I'm doing. But it's still like, it feels more like it. You're not sure. Maybe it is artistically intentional. But yeah, pretty interesting and really well shot. I spoke up, I complimented her, saying that it looked like Terrence Malick. The professor was weird. So the professor really liked it, even though the professor doesn't like experimental stuff. But he's like, oh, I love that, you're saying something, But there's just too much text at the end. But the girl, the actress, she's so beautiful. She's so vulnerable, and the dress she's wearing, she just feels very vulnerable. There's a nakedness to it. And I know what he's trying to say, but that just feels really wrong. An old, bald, white guy saying that just feels hilarious. And I was like holding in my laughter. And then every film following that is, of course, not as good. We have one mockumentary made by Jade about this silly guy who is lonely and is an idiot, living his daily life, practicing karate, which I thought was very mid, but I complimented, saying the acting is good. The other documentary, not a mockumentary, real documentary, is made by Audrey, which is about a football chess club, a soccer chess club. The documentary is 9 minutes long, and I was bored to tears. But it seems like everyone loved it. Daniela made this experimental, like, narration piece where someone narrates about their nostalgia for San Francisco and like this memorabilia, where it came from, and there's like stock footage of San Francisco, and there's like cool projector light stuff, and like everyone fucking loved it. All the guys around me spoke up, and a lot of girls spoke up saying that it's amazing, and I just thought it's really weird because maybe it touched some heartstrings for some people, but for me, I'm just like, why are we watching this? You know, you're not proving anything to me. You're not showing me anything really emotional. But like, CC was like, oh, it's so emotional, and the professor loved it. What else? Yeah, so that was Daniela's film. And then, who else? There's probably one that is so forgettable I completely forgot. And then finally, the last one was Ben's. And Ben's film is like this comedy about 3 white people, 1 white woman, and 2 white boys playing poker, and 1 white boy is super angry and thinks the woman is cheating, and the guy beats up the woman at the end and breaks her thumbs. And then turns out it's the other white boy who is actually cheating secretly, and then he throws up. And it's like lighthearted, but it's not very well shot, doesn't sound good. And I overestimated Ben. I thought Ben is going to be like a very good director. No, all he does is silly SNL skits. The biggest confusion is Ben's film has a fight scene, and there's clearly physical contact. There's thumb breaking, and neither Sissy or the professor pointed out the safety issues. Maybe Ben filed safety requests and everything, maybe. But honestly, I just think that the professor didn't point out the safety issues because he's fucking laughing. If it's a comedy, it's fine. If it's serious, then I will notice the safety issues, then it's not fine. Then I'll deduct grades. But oh, it's funny. It's comedy, so it's okay. So I'm not blaming Ben. I'm just curious, is that a double standard, you know? Either way, there's that. I was so hungry. So at the very end, we sort of talked about, you know, our next few weeks, next 2 weeks actually, we have 2 weeks left. And what are we going to do? And, only 2 weeks left. So the professor was talking about, like, the hotel shoot, how we should, like, come up with a rough edit, screen it, and then we do another editing, and then do the final cut screening, and then that's the last day, yay. And then Vic raised his hand and was like, oh, like, so what we're doing in the next 2 weeks. Like, Vic was the one who initiated this conversation. And then that eventually snowballed into the professor thinking, oh, what if we have a class like next Monday or one of the days we have a class where we go down to the editing lab and I look at you guys edit. You're all editing here, right? And all the other groups were like, and then I looked at Ryan and Ryan's like, I looked at Andrew and Andrew's like, because here's the thing, none of us, me, Ryan, Andrew, none of us edit on Avid. We have no idea how Avid works. We all edit on Premiere Pro. Cole knows, and Cole didn't get it. Cole didn't get why we're laughing, I think. But we're kind of fucked. And then, yeah. So after class, Ryan was like, oh, should I ask? And I'm like, yeah, it would be better. So I was like, just make up some excuse. Like, oh, Avid is crashing all the time. Maybe let's just use Premiere Pro. So Ryan went up to CC and the professor and asked. And me, Andrew, and Cole, we stayed behind. And Ryan was like, can we use Premiere Pro? And the professor, without hesitation, was like, no. I'm sorry, but it's the rules. You know, every department has their rules, and the editing department rule is that you have to use Avid. A few semesters ago, somebody used Premiere Pro and they couldn't export the video in time, and they got an F. So, you have to use Avid. This is so fucking bad. I'm not even that worried. I honestly don't care about the quality of this film at all. Like, I don't fucking care. I know my name is attached to it, but it's not gonna be on IMDb or some shit. It's not. I don't fucking care. I genuinely don't care. But it's definitely an issue. So outside of the SCA building, me, Cole, Andrew, and Ryan, we just stood out there and we just talked. Like, what the fuck are we gonna do now? So we thought about like editing on Premiere Pro first, and then exporting a timeline to Avid. We thought about like fake editing on Avid first, and then after that class where he watches us edit in the editing lab, then maybe we'll go home and recreate the whole thing in Premiere Pro. Which is a lot of work, but I guess we'll have to do it. But my suggestion is like, let's just do it. Let's just edit on Avid. It's gonna be tough, but let's just try, you know? Because we have to pretend that we know what we're doing anyways. So yeah, who knows? I'm not really that worried about it. I forgot to mention two things. One is Cheyenne filmed outside, and CC pointed out that you didn't have a permit for it. So yeah, but they didn't stop Cheyenne. Like, the professor didn't stop Cheyenne and say, oh, well, I'm gonna deduct your grades because you didn't ask for the permits. The next thing is, Brandon, Andrew's twin brother, randomly followed me today. Cool. And, Andrew today told me that, Brandon's asking if I could help out on his 310 as an extra set dresser. Which is fucking great, except I already have plans, man. But I've been doing some thinking. Maybe I should. I mean, if I don't take that, then it's done. Then 310 is over. Then I will not work on a 310 anymore. So Saturday, I will have to go to Sealai Temple. But Sunday, I can. But I have to leave early because I need to head to the Grove to see the shrouds. But Sunday morning, I can, actually. Yes. And I may meet some other film production people. And also, this is the first time, out of the 2 times anyways, where somebody asks me to be on a 310 for help. Last semester, I'm begging other people to bring me on a 310, and I eventually got to meet Robert Zemeckis-son. Cool. But this time around, it's like, oh, I know some people. Next semester, though, Ethan, Katie, and Colin and Anya, like, dude, I hope they ask me for real. Not just to be a set dresser, but literally PD on it. I hope me and Christian co-PD, or Christian's probably going to be PD and I'll be art director. I'm fine. That's fun. That's fine. So, yeah. But yeah, I went to Trader Joe's, bought a little food, came back home. I'm dying of hunger. I'll have carne asada, pasta, and some lettuce salad. I think I don't have anything else to add. Just worried about filing taxes. I think I'll have to pay a penalty fee or something. Whatever, who cares? 1 day late, if I'm 1 day late, it's okay. What else? There's something on my mind. I don't know, just ALI stuff, HKOS stuff. But again, there's Summer's End this Friday. Saturday is Paradise. Sunday I'm helping on a 310 just for the morning. And then there's Maisie Short, and then I'm done. And then I can just focus solely on the con and HKOS. And I won't be I won't be directing any short films for the rest of the year. Unless it's co-directing that I'll consider. Yeah. I renewed the lease for this room, and I'm getting a $200 discount apparently. So I hope that saves me some money. Yeah.